Hey all, Baruch Levi B here from Soul Centered. I'm recording in my second studio, which is an RV in the middle of an RV site in Colorado. You can see in the background, here we are. Quite gorgeous, quite beautiful. Wish I could make that the view on this, but I can't. So here you are stuck with me. I wanted to share some thoughts about a very important tool that I use in my guiding clients in my own life. I'm a logotherapist, a meaning-centered psychotherapist created by Dr. Viktor Frankl, author of Man's Search for Meaning and father of logotherapy. Logos means meaning, so it's meaning-centered psychotherapy. I'm also a spiritual guide, and been doing that for 25 years as a rabbi, but a Kabbalist, studying this universal spiritual practice and also Buddhist meditation mindfulness practice, which I am very passionate about, and integrating those things also with the Enneagram. Behind me here, the Enneagram, a little handy dandy chart that I bring with me because I use with clients to really understand as a roadmap. So bringing those three things together in what I call defiant spirit living and philosophy. And one of the tools that I use in my own life, drawing from each of these traditions, is a trinity, a holy trinity for me, not necessarily the Christian Catholic trinity of so it's my trinity, and it's how I restore balance to my life. And when one of these three things is out of balance, my life kilters, kind of goes off kilter, and heads down a path that I can feel I need to really correct and come back to this energy, this synergy. Now, the Trinity comes from the triangle, and it's a geometric figure that is all about balance, and it's built into all kinds of things. That's why Trinity is such a powerful idea, and throughout many mystical traditions. For the Enneagram, it's built on this triangle of three wisdom centers: body, mind, and heart, and keeping those three things in balance. But for this, it's about relationship. And I want to talk about the Trinity of Relationships as me, thee, we. So let's talk about me. Soul Centered was built around this idea of me not as selfish, but self centered, or I would call soul centered. And this is something I've taught about, I talk about, and I work with clients almost every day on the shift from selfish to self centered. They're not the same thing. We've conflated these two words to mean the same thing. They're not, they're very different energies. Selfish is when it's only about me. It's all about me. I am the beginning, middle, and the end. I am doing this as a means and it ends. It begins and ends with me. Self-centered is I'm bringing myself back to center. I am putting myself as a priority, as a starting point, not as an end point. The end point is so I can get to thee, so I can get to you, so I can get to other. But without me at the center, right? If I'm selfless, if I don't have a sense of self, I can't be in relationship. I can't tend to you. I can't tend to my responsibilities. I can't tend to the world. I can for a period of time. And this is where I meet a lot of clients, a lot of people who are out of balance. They're out of whack. They have been running selflessly for so long, they've lost themselves. And that's not sustainable. It's not good. It's not good to model that behavior to our loved ones. It's not sustainable if you want to be in it for the long haul. Either you keel over and die, or your marriage falls apart, or you burn out the person whom you're giving to. Something's got to give in that selfless model, because that is ultimately selfish. If you want to be truly self-centered, to be in a relationship, you need to be self-centered. You need to get back to yourself at the center so that you can sustain this relationship, and so that you can give for the right reasons at the right time to the right person. Saying yes to everybody and everyone at all times is not loving. It's in many ways selfish. We need to say no as much as we say yes, or certainly in balance with saying yes. We need to put ourselves back at the center of our lives. We need to come back to me as an act of love. It can't just be about ourselves. We need to transcend ourselves. Dr. Viktor Frankl, my teacher, talks a lot about the pyramid. Remember Maslow's pyramid? Self-actualization is at the top. No, it's actually one step further, or just raise up the pyramid. The top of the pyramid is not self-actualized. To be me and know me and have me at the center, but then to go beyond me, to transcend ourselves. That's the true tip of the pyramid. That's where we need to get to once we have our center, to then think of it as a cup, pouring into a cup, filling the cup up, and we're full, and now we can flow over. But if we're just running around emptying our cup, watering the plants, pretty soon we look, there's no me. But if it's only about me filling up the cup and then guarding the cup and not letting it flow over, that's equally as out of balance. So we need to let it flow over to thee, to other, and giving and transcending. And it needs to be pure in motive. Ariella and I have 3 teenagers, and one who's going to be a teenager soon, and then one will be moving out. So hopefully, they'll shift energies here. But teenage times are really a time about what we call dirty motives. Somebody can have clean motives, pure motives, giving for giving's sake, or then you come home and see the kitchen's cleaned, and then the first thought is, when teenagers clean the kitchen, what do they want? Sure enough, Abba, that's what they call me, or Mimi, that's what they call her. Can I do? And then it doesn't undo the efforts. And, we factor it in, but we have to temper why they clean the kitchen, why they're doing anything. And we're a teenager as well. I don't care what age we are. We all have dirty motives. Especially, I work a lot with Enneagram 2s. They're the helpers. And if they're unconscious, they believe they're helping. They're really getting into some, okay, what's the string here? What's the manipulation, right? I'm going to call that favor in and reel it back. We have to check that at all of our Enneagram types, especially 2s. What's the giving? And if it's not coming from this place of the, then it's not really giving. It's not really what we're talking about with the energy. Martin Buber calls it thou. There's 2 ways to relate to the world. I, me, or I, it, and I, thou. And when we're an I, it, we're maybe doing something for somebody else, but we're kind of we're manipulating. It's not purely about them. So really checking that energy. Me energy is about truly tending to me, taking care of me as an act of love. The energy is self-transcendence, getting to other as an act of love and just giving for giving's sake. Sometimes it might be done anonymously. It doesn't have to be. In fact, in many ways, it's better to do it anonymously, because then there's really no getting back. Could be charitable in nature, could be an act of loving kindness, paying it forward in a line. Somebody did that once, multiple times. Somebody done it for me at a, what's it called? Toll booth. And I got to the toll booth, and the toll taker said, "Oh, it's already been paid for." I'm like, "What?" Like, the person in front of you paid for it. That was the moment. They'll never be able to be thanked by me. And so what did I do? I threw my change in and paid it back, and they won't be able to thank me. The energy, just giving, this pure place of giving. So me, the, and lastly, but not leastly, not least, we, because it can't just be about, I'm taking care of me or I'm taking care of you. What about we, when there's reciprocity? And there needs to be reciprocity, those relationships where it's energetically sustained by giving and taking, by, giving and receiving. That's a better word than taking. So a marriage or a partnership needs to have me moments and the moments and we moments. Ariel and I, having 4 kids, work very hard, maybe not hard enough, but we work very hard to have we time, to say to our kids, there's no you in this right now, right? You 4 kids, go do something, take care of yourselves. But we need a ride, but we need this, but we need that. No, the answer is no, because this is we time, not the time. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes it feels harsh, but it's important for them to see us model we. It's important for us to have we, to sustain us as a couple. Otherwise, me, thee, me, thee, me, thee. It's fragmented, and the triangle starts to turn into, not an equilateral triangle, or an isosceles triangle, or something else, but it starts to flatten. It starts to come undone, and pretty soon it turns into a line, and then it disappears. And so we have to maintain this we for ourselves and our relationship. We have to maintain it for the good of the family. Our family has we time. Friday night, the Sabbath, Shabbat dinner. Our kids know, like, this is our we time, and you have to be here. You can go out afterwards, or you can go out the next day, but not this night. Or if we miss it somehow because something comes up, then we'll do Saturday afternoon. Like, this is our time. This is our hiking time, and it's we time, and it's non-negotiable. We have to hold to that. Maybe that the we time is, not just your relationship with your significant other or your family. Maybe we time is with a group of friends. You have to have we time to sustain this thing. It's not enough to say, I love them and I think about them, but I don't participate in anything. I give to them, but I don't participate in we time. People need a we, whether it's, again, each of those relationships or you name it, or with your organization, with your company. We have to have we time where we all come together, or it becomes fragmented. I've been involved in many corporations, organizations that don't have enough we time, enough zoom out to see the me's and the these and all of the activities from a whole, to remember we are all in this together. In the Jewish mystical tradition, most of the prayers are in plural, we. It's not I. There are I moments, but there's a lot of we, because the mystics teach that in the end, as much as we're in relationship with the divine as individuals, we're in relationship with the divine as a collective. And so thinking about that commitment to collective, that commitment to we and how it shows up in our life, and making sure that our triangle has all three of these, me, thee, and we. It's a very simple, obviously, tool that I just use over and over again in my mind to check in with, where am I in this equilateral triangle? Is it so equilateral, or is it something else? Is it skewed in one direction or another? And how can I bring back that sustainable geometric figure that has withstood the test of time, that's built into the fabric of creation, that I need to make sure is built into the fabric of my life? If you want more of these tools and strategies, jump over to mysoulcenter.org. If you'd like to work with me on finding me, thee, and we energy in your life, shoot me an email at Baruch, BARUCH, at mysoulcenter.org. Until the next time, shalom, salam, namaste, peace.